Who should the Blazers take at 7? Do they even want to pick at 7? Are they going to move it for somebody who they shouldn't move it for? Who knows?
Are they going to run from the draft grind?
We don't run from the grind, do we? Actually, Cart, you've been begging Dame to run from the grind for years.
Bro, there is nothing better than running from the grind. All right. In this past year, I've completely embraced running from the grind, and my life has been so much better. Like, sometimes you just got to run from the grind. The grind's overrated as shit.
Have you actually been running? I feel like you've been grinding harder than I've ever seen in the last year. No offense, but like you're in the gym more.
No offense.
You're working.
You've been working hard.
You've been working hard. You've been working hard, have you not?
Yeah, there is, but there's some situations where I'm just like, let's just run from the grind. Like, why is everything got to be? I'm trying to get it out the mud.
Yeah, facts.
All right, understood. That was Carter Elliott. I'm Greg Waddell. We're joined by Nima, our NBA expert. Okay, we went through 2 separate tiers of the top 3 and then the next 3. Chet, Jabari, Paolo, Keegan, Shaden, Jaden. That leads us to the Blazers, who could go in so many different ways with this. Nima, they have Dame Lillard, and they have Anthony Simons, and they have a lot of question marks. What would you do if you're the Blazers GM?
And they just made Mike Schmitz the GM of the team, who was just the ESPN draft analyst. I think personally, the guy that I have number 3 on my board, I'm not letting him slip past 7. And I know Mike Schmitz just did a video interview with him. It went very well. It looked like it went very well. They've done a couple interviews together. I think they're probably pretty close at this point. So I think number 7 is going to be Dyson Daniels. He's been rising up the boards like crazy. 6'8", can do it all. One of the best defenders in the G League last year. He compared himself to Tyrese Halliburton on the offensive end and Alex Caruso on the defensive end. I think those are both pretty good comps for the kind of player he is.
Wait. He compared himself to Alex Caruso?
He said Alex Caruso, Lonzo Ball type.
So
get him out.
And hold on, Nima. This goes against everything you stand for. You love Dyson, and he's comparing himself to a white guy?
I know. Alex Caruso breaks the white boy. I think there's 1 or 2 guys in the league that break the white boy theory. Alex Caruso is one of them. But the thing is that he's like Alex Caruso sells himself on defense. Like that's what gets him going. And like if you're a white dude in the league, you got to sell yourself on something. Most of them pick shooting. Alex Caruso pick defense. And that's why he gets more minutes than the rest of them, because the rest of them can just shoot and they can't do much else. But he compared himself to Lonzo and Alex Caruso on defense. I think that's pretty fair. Last year, Dyson got like 3.9 deflections per game. That would have been the second highest in the NBA if that were to be projected over. He's just plays with super active hands, long strides. He's not the best dribbler, but shit, it takes two steps for him to get to the rim. So you only need to dribble once. And so
wait, why can't we use that excuse with Jabari Smith, who's going to go 1 in this draft?
Because Jabari Smith can't dribble at all and can't move with the ball. At least Dyson kind of can move with the ball, and Dyson can pass. Jabari doesn't do that.
Okay.
Dyson's probably one of the better passers in this draft as well. I don't see him ever being a point guard.
No, Nima, you're trying to see. You're
the Jabari Dyson.
No. I'm gonna let you rock, but I just want to let you know that you're trying to sell me on a guy. And the first points that you come up with is that he's Alex Caruso on defense, and then you bring up his deflection stats.
Alex Caruso is great at getting deflections. Alex Caruso is an amazing defender.
Not even that he is Alex Caruso on defense. He wants to be Alex.
No. He said he wants to become a Luka Doncic type player. Okay. Yeah, I know. High aspirations.
He's comparing himself to white players, Nima. That's horrible.
White Europeans.
White Europeans. That is the
Alex Caruso.
He's Slovenian, damn it.
Alex Caruso is not European. Okay, Cart.
No, but he went to Texas A&M.
Cart, again, this Kyle Rittenhouse is about to go to Texas A&M. We're all
no, he's not.
That's Australian.
Cart, bring this in, please. We've got Nima, our resident G League guy. For those that don't know, Nima has done a lot of work for the NBA G League. He is heavily, I don't want to say invested, but you've scouted the G League so well, and you know those players so well, more than anybody that is analyzing the draft really does. Cart, you and I do not watch a lot of G League. We stand for guys like Keegan Murray, who we just saw put up 25 points a game in our conference. Has anything Nima said or anything you've watched, anything you've heard about Dyson Daniels stand out to you? What would you compare him to in college?
So I actually have kind of looked into more so because I know me and Nima had conversations about Dyson Daniels and about his board. And once I heard that Nima had him top 5 on his board, I was like, okay, let me maybe watch some more highlights, things like that. He sent me those games as well. I have a lot more respect for Dyson Daniels than I did coming in. I actually kind of like the fit with the Trailblazers, especially if they do put them all 3 on the floor at the same time. So you have Dame out there, Dyson, and Anthony Simons out there all at the same time. I kind of like that. I don't know if it was you, Nima. Did you say he's an athletic Kyle Anderson?
Yeah, he's Kyle Anderson if Kyle Anderson can move.
That's a real good player.
That's a real good player.
That's a real good play, and I can kind of see that. So I actually like that pick. For me, it'd be Dyson Daniels or Benedict Mathurin at this pick, and I like both those picks.
I think Dyson gets a little underrated with some stuff. He's not the fastest guy, but he has an insane burst. Especially for someone who's 6'8", he doesn't get the 0 to 60 like Jay and Ivy does, but he'll get to 0 to 45. And that's still insanely good for a guy who can put the ball on the floor, make it really, really good passes. Got to remember that the G League had basically Michael Foster doing a lot of stuff for them and 0 shooters. So not the best team that Dyson was playing with, but second half of the season, 36% from 3. I've talked about the fact that almost all of his percentages are higher than Jabari's except for the 3-point shot. I think him scoring, the only difference between a lot of the guys at the top of the draft and him is he doesn't care about scoring. What he wants to set up the offense first. Jaden Ivey, Jabari Smith, Paolo, kind of Chet even. These are guys who they're going to go and look for their bucket. Dyson's going to make sure he gets other people involved first. And if he can't do that, he's going to find his bucket. And he does a pretty good job of doing it. He gets the rim really well. His float is probably the best in his class. I think, and I like you said, I like him a lot for Portland with or without Damian Lillard. Whatever they end up doing, I think that you at the very least pick a guy that can be a cog in your machine and run the show potentially for you every once in a while. I don't think he's ever going to be a full-time point guard, but I think he can at the very least take point guard duties every once in a while. And then best case scenario, Dame stays and you play him at the 3. And you have him right next to Anthony Simons as well. And I think that fits in very well. He's a nice little playmaker, tertiary playmaker potentially. And I think that's probably the best role to put him in day one.
If he slots into that 3, does he need the ball in his hands in the half court to be effective?
No, I don't really think so. And I think that you can kind of play him a lot off screens. You can get Dame moving in some motions. You can get Anthony Simons moving in some motions if you do put Dyson with the hands or with the ball in his hands. But I mean, he's a decent spot-up shooter. I mean, he's not great at it, but even then, you get him on the side. You got to respect the 3-point shot at the very least, and then from there, he's really good at attacking off of closeouts. He's good. He has one counter move, and it works every single time, just a little spin. And so, I'm not too worried about him playing off ball. I do think he can probably run the bench as well for the Blazers, the bench unit of Trendon Watford and Greg Brown. So the Blazers stink. And I think that it gives Dyson a lot of opportunities to play with a lot of different kinds of players. And he's a creative player, man. He's going to get those guys set up. I think the young guys are going to love playing with him. Again, I don't know what happens with Dame. So that's the only tough part. But I think the Blazers should be down between 2 players with the way things have gone out here. And I think Dyson is just the better of the 2 guys. So
who's the second?
I think it should be Jalen Duren as the only other guy I would probably take there.
So I was going to say, if I feel like if I'm the Blazers, all I would want is the highest upside pick at this spot. I don't feel like there are any more sure things. I can talk myself into Dyson being that. I think the second guy I would say might be that is Jalen Duren. And weirdly, the guy who's lower ranked, but is a riser, the third guy I could talk myself into is Mark Williams with the crazy measurables. I think it's either big that you could project as a true starting big in this league, or it's take the flyer and Dyson. Card, do you agree with that? And if so, what would you make of the bigs? Is Duren the guy?
I think Mark Williams at 7 is a bit of a reach. I like Mark Williams. If they really want Mark Williams that bad, then they can trade back and get him. I like Jalen Duren as well. But I don't know. I like Nurkic though. I think that he's a pretty good player. I don't know. I feel like Nurkic has been like 26 for like 7 years. Like he might be pushing like upper 30s now for all I know. But in any case, I don't know. I like the idea of them keeping Dame and having Dame, Simons, Dyson Daniels, or you guys didn't mention it, but I think Benedict Mathurin fits into that fold.
I was gonna say Mathurin potentially as well.
Yeah, I think Mathurin fits into that fold. You have Nurkic. I'm not even sure who their 4-man is, to be honest. Is it Nasir
Trendon
Little?
Wofford.
Yeah. God, they stink.
Big body.
I do love Trendon Wofford, but good Lord.
Yeah.
God, they need to get some talent. But I think Mathurin, Daniels, even Duren, honestly, but they can't reach. Whatever they do not take Johnny fucking Davis.
Now that we talked about how Trendon Watford's their only 4, Jeremy Sohan, I could talk myself into him too. I could. I don't know. It feels reachy, but I could.
If Keegan's there at 7, you take Keegan as well, I think.
Keegan would be perfect there.
Yeah, Keegan
would be really good. But I want to ask, because I agree, Carter, that like you don't take Mark Williams at 7. But do you think that trading back 7 for 13 and 15 is a good deal for both teams, for the Hornets and the Blazers? I don't know who the Hornets would trade up for unless it's Duren. And I do think Duren makes a little bit of sense for the Hornets. They really need a big man. And I think 13 and 15 for the Blazers, you get 2 lottery picks who potentially can help with you and your bench unit and kind of just give you actually good young talent. One of them could be Mark Williams. And then the other one would potentially be, maybe Bryce McGowan's, maybe Jeremy Suhan, maybe Tari Eason, maybe Johnny Davis.
Right. If they're that high on Jalen Duren, they would trade up for him, because I don't think Jalen Duren he's not making it out of the top 10. Like, aren't the Spurs at 9?
Spurs are at 9, yeah.
Yeah, he's not making the pass to Spurs if he's on the board. So
I might do that at Charlotte, even for like AJ Griffin. Like I think I would consolidate and try to get a guy who pairs really well with LaMelo and Miles Bridges and is just a tertiary guy.
Well, we don't know if Miles Bridges after that post today.
That's so true. I'm just assuming Miles is back because the other 29 organizations are going to see his Instagram and be like, no thanks, and Charlotte's going to be like, all right, well, he's already here.
That's why he's willing to throw another $5 million on his deal.
I think Houston's about to call him up based on what was in that cup.
God, don't let that man get the strip club scene, please. Nobody needs to see that. All right, Charlotte. Who would we take if we are the Blazers? If we are Mike Schmitz, who, by the way, I know who he won't take. He won't take Max Christie. Talk to me about that at the Big Ten tournament. Who would we take as Portland's GM here? I'll go first. I would take Dyson. Nima sold me.
Nima sold me too. I'm taking Dyson.
It's a consensus. Dyson. Good job, Nima.
Dyson top 7.
Who do we think they will take? I think Dyson's going to be there at 7. And I think they will take Dyson. Nima agrees, I assume. Carter?
Yeah.
Agree?
I agree. Sleeper pick. They pick Jeremy Sohan.
Yeah, I can see that.
I can see that happening.
Suhan. I don't know.
I think Dyson will be there at 7, and if he's there at 7, then they take him. I also, and we didn't mention this in the Kings episode, mostly because I didn't want to manifest this, but I think there's a chance that if the Kings are going to king, they might take Dyson, and I would be very sad.
That'd be tough. They could do that though. It would make sense.
A lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense. They don't have a lot of really good wings. Like Harrison Barnes isn't anything to write home about. I could see it happening, and like that would make me log off.
So they trade a Tyrese Halliburton just to bring in damn near another Tyrese Halliburton.
Yeah, Tyrese Halliburton with an accent.
I have a really horrible thing. Nima's not going to want to talk to me ever again after I say this, but are we sure that Dyson Daniels isn't just Killian Hayes in heels?
All right.
He was the darling. He was everybody's darling.
That's actually
that 5-7 range.
That might be true, honestly, because Dyson keeps posting himself in the Kasubi jeans.
Oh no! He's Vegemite Killian.
Yeah, he might be.
Yeah, the kangaroo
Killian. Kangaroo Killian.